I travelled so deep into the forest that I was completely lost. It didn't help that it was night time either. I was able to set a fire without smoke from the help of Tina Marie, someone who has been giving me some tips as of late online. I sat near the fire, wondering what to do. I remembered my father's voice as he taught me how to shoot a gun long ago. It seemed so distant. I watched as a branch snapped to my left. I quickly turned to see a tall humanoid staring at me with milky white eyes. I wanted to run, but then I thought of everything that had happened. I was tired of running. I was tired of dealing with these things. I grabbed a nearby stick and prepared to fight. It looked almost amused, then charged at me with frightening speed. I quickly dodged to my left, whacking it with a particularly sharp side of the branch. It left a small cut in its arm. I quickly manoeuvred myself behind a tree as it lunged again, arms outstretched for my throat. It rammed into the tree, but wrapped its arms around the trunk, grabbing a hold of me. It started pulling. I screamed as I felt my muscles being ripped apart. I quickly used my stick and with my remaining strength, stabbed the creature in its eye. It let me go and howled in pain. I quickly rushed forward and repeatedly punched it. It seemed to be working when the creature's tongue extended out of its mouth around me. I struggled to escape as it lifted me into the air. Now furious, it slammed me into the tree and was upon me in seconds. I rolled out of the way just in time as it slammed its claws into the tree, rooting it to where it was. I used this time to quickly take out the gun that Bryson had handed me. His Desert Eagle. Memories flooded my mind as my grip tightened. What had driven us apart? Why did things turn out this way? Why was this all my fault? I dodged another swipe from the creature and shot it in its chest. It looked shocked as it didn't notice my weapon and tried to run, but it was already severely weakened. I shot a couple more bullets into the creature's chest, eventually killing it. I didn't even make sure it was dead before leaving, gun in my hand, with new resolve. I vowed to end this mission and save my friends. Of course, things were not going to be so easy. I saw a familiar hat, a pilgrim hat, as I walked through the forest. I quickly aimed my gun, but it was gone. I turned to see it was right in front of me, smiling at me with its crooked teeth. "We are going to have so much fun together," it whispered in a demonic tone, sounding as if an old man was possessed by Satan himself. I gritted my teeth and went to pull the trigger when I heard a familiar voice. Me and the pilgrim turned, and to my horror, a group of teenagers had snuck into Yellowstone National Park and were 8 feet away from this thing. "Run!" I shouted to them. But it was too late. The pilgrim leapt into action, quickly killing 2 of them and slicing the third's neck off. The last one was none other than Daniel Parker himself. "What the hell?" he screamed as he ran towards me. "Follow me," I said, as they both ran in the opposite direction of the pilgrim. "What is a brat like you doing here?" he sneered. "Wait, you're that missing kid, aren't you? Hell, me and some friends had a party when you disappeared. I hoped you just got eaten by a bear or something, but you're living in Yellowstone National Park. How'd you travel so far? Let me guess, your freak of nature dad ran away with you or some..." He ranted, but I finally shut him up by pointing the gun at his head. "I won't hesitate to kill you, Daniel," I said in a harsh tone. Of course I couldn't bring myself to kill another human being. I needed him to listen to me, or else we would both die. "Now, follow me before..." I trailed off as a pilgrim appeared in front of us. It was so dark that Daniel didn't appear to see him and walked closer, thinking I was scared of the dark. "What's wrong, wimp? Scared of the dark?" He didn't get to finish his sentence before a cold hand was placed on his shoulder, the hand in question being one of his friends' hands. He went to scream, but it was too late. The hand crawled to his neck and tightened its grip. I silently watched in horror as he was choked to death. I slowly walked away, but stepped onto something squishy. I looked down to see someone's heart still beating. Fear overtook me as I thought of horrible ways my father probably died. I wasn't going to die to this thing, nor any other cryptid. I slowly walked away from the scene and then broke off into a sprint. I was hoping for anything that could help me, anything that could point me in the right direction. After around what seemed like 5 minutes of running, I ran into the group of soldiers. One seemed to be missing, but the other 3 were alive and well. "Hey, you guys! We need to get out of here now! The Pilgrim killed Kyle and probably everyone else except us!" I shouted, hoping that Darius and Bryson were still alive. They obliged. One of them even said that this place was giving him goosebumps. We all walked through the forest, now following a map one of the soldiers had. "So, Kyle's dead?" one asked excitedly. "Jaden, you don't need to get excited. We know you hate him," another said in a sassy tone. "Well, Tracy, Jaden just dislikes Kyle. Hate is a bit of a strong word, you know," the remaining soldier said, with a deep accent. "Thanks for backing me up, Martin. But what do we do with the kid?" Jaden asked. "You know I'm right here, right?" I asked, half annoyed, half anxious to get out of here. "We can't leave until the target is neutralized. The kid will have to stick with us," Martin said grimly. "Wait! I thought the mission was scouting out the area and getting info," I said hysterically. "The mission has changed as of late, kiddo," Jaden said, and followed up with another statement. "Don't worry, we can do this," he said optimistically. "Be quiet! I'm going to get a picture of this thing," Tracy interrupted, snapping a picture of some small frog with horns. "Tracy, you're not supposed to be doing such things!" Martin almost shouted. "It's none of your business!" she scoffed. We made our way back to the motel and decided to rest up for the night. Martin, being a team leader, took the first night's watch. Though I couldn't sleep, I kept thinking of my father, my friends, and that group of teenagers. I could have been them. Vivid thoughts of my friends dying horrible deaths to that pilgrim. The thoughts haunted me throughout the night. I woke up in the morning and was led back into the forest with Martin, Tracy, and Jaden. Right before we left, I took out the phone I snatched from earlier and made this post. I'll keep in touch with you all. I promise.